reality for our parents is they don't know you, and they want to be at home and not with you. And to approach juvenile court as a practitioner any other way, to me, seems foolish, to be quite honest. I'm not trying to, obviously I've been there for 27 years. I believe in it. I believe in it with my whole heart and soul. But I want to keep it real for the kids and the families as to how this works. If people, practitioners, judges, county attorneys, probation officers, the public, really are honest with these kids and families, that's the first step. If we just stop on platitudes and hopes and wishes, again, it just leads to disappointment, anger, frustration, because to me, one of the best examples is when the kids first come to juvenile court. That's their first walk through the door. And that's when, to me, the game starts going. This isn't diversion. Do not take my picture. I'm keeping it real. No, I can't. When the kids come through that door for the first time, they have a lot of thoughts in their head. And again, if anybody's been in juvenile court, been with kids, know kids, that idea that they're coming through the door and they're dying to meet their attorney and tell their side of the story, get that trial going, and meet their probation officer and tell them the trials and tribulations of home, you're dreaming. You're dreaming. They don't want to talk. They do not want to be there. And I only keep stressing that because you have to meet them where they're at. When they're walking through the door, all they want to know is, now when will I be leaving this nice place? Not today, like in 45 minutes. No, they want to know like forever. Like, do I have to come back? Is there going to be a trial? Do I have to come back for the trial? Do I have to come back for probation? Do I have, keep that in mind going forward in juvenile court, is that even though the great idea is that it's best interest and that children have rights, and I am their zealous, I bet her how many times I would say the word zealous, representation. They don't care, they want to be gone, they want to be at home. So it might sound good, but we got to keep it real for these kids. When, 30 years ago is when I started at Creighton Law School. And on my first day, Dean Skolnick sat us all in a room very similar to this. It was called the Spaceship. And he said to all of the attorneys, words are your tools. And this is a hard profession. It's going to make your stomach hurt. You're going to lose sleep over it. But remember, you chose this. I put that quote on a Far Side cartoon, and I put it on my desk. And it's still on my desk, because that's, again, still how I feel about juvenile court. I don't think it could be a better mantra for juvenile court. I want to be there. Words are going to be my tools. I'm losing sleep. It makes my stomach hurt, but I want to be here. What we have to remember is none of the kids woke up and said, this is going to be hard. Words are my tools, and but I chose to be here. So I say that because what I'm hearing more and more, and again, it sounds like I hear more and more people say things like, juvenile court is a privilege for our youth. or juvenile court is for their best interest, or we all collaborate and we get things done for kids. And the reality when I hit the juvenile court floor is I for some reason, picked up a book, again, the how-to, the manuals, the things you try to read to be better informed, better ready to go at this. And the first sentence, literally in this book, was, if juvenile court really did what was best for the child at all times, there would be no need for a defense attorney. So just, again, that's not an indictment against the system. It's not throwing stones at the county attorney. It's not bemoaning probation and what's available. It's the reality that we want to do good things for these kids, but we can't all the time. That idea, just like Nicole was saying, the girl's on the run, she's pregnant, she comes back, and then we get her going. That sounds so great. If it was that easy and that true, I would not be here. I would be at home. Because the reality is, we would just get the girl back, and we would put her in these magic services that she wants to embrace. Her parents will come to the meetings. There would be no reason for a court to even review it because it would be the best thing for this kid. Who wouldn't want the best? I don't need an attorney if it's the best. Honey, this is your right. You have a right to an attorney. And my job is to zealously represent you so I can get what the best outcome is for you. Oh wait, that's the whole point of the floor, is the best. So I guess you don't need me, I'll be leaving. Do you see how you have to keep it real with these kids? Like, it would be nice. Probation knows that I've been trying very hard to reach out to them on behalf of being a defense attorney, to be real with our kids. When they're coming in that door and they've done something simple, shoplifting, not going to school, I'm trying to think of anything simple, and the minute I say simple, shoplifting is absolutely the case where the girl ends up pregnant, runs away from home, has a drug problem, and she's thinking, just like most people would be thinking, hey, I'm here on a shoplifting, so give me my $30 fine. I gave the mascara back to Walgreens, out. And I'm doing that. Oh, that would be so great if we could just say, you're right, if it's just a shoplifting, just do what you need to do to restore the community with that stolen mascara, and off you go. But the reality is, as a defense attorney for that kid, I am not going to do her any favors to just be saying, well, let's see if they can prove that you took the mascara from Walgreens. You did? Okay, so let's plead, because you don't need to have a trial because you took it, and they can prove that you took it. And then a year from now, she's sitting in the youth center because she ran away from home with her boyfriend that got caught smoking pot. Mom says she hasn't been to school in 6 months. Do you see when like I said, if I'm not honest with that girl at the beginning and her parent of, hey, you're walking in the door with something, we get into every part of your life. We get into every part of your life. Sometimes when the kids come in and I meet them for the first time, I have to laugh because, just like I said to you, how many people have been in juvenile court, how many people have had that experience about being in juvenile court. Somebody's always got a friend that has been on probation, a parent that has been in jail. That's what their experience is. Somebody's seen something on TV. And I always have to, again, be real with, hi, I'm Ann, and I am your attorney. If you would ever say to a child like, okay, so what do you think my job is? It's to get me out of here, to get me off, to get me gone. They don't, if I would say to them, well, honey, in about a year from now, when you're sitting in the youth center, and people are saying, well, our next court date is December 8th, and we don't have the evals done. And even if we did have an eval done, we don't have a chemical dependency program right now that will take you. I know that child will look at me at that first hearing and be like, why are you talking about that? I'm here because I took some mascara from Walgreens. So I'm just looking at the adults in the room to be like, there is no way to predict, wake up, scare, put the fear of God in a child walking through that this is not just about what the charge is. In fact, when I meet a client for the first time, I would say if it's a 20-minute interview with him the first time, 15 minutes is talking as though the charge is true. The kids are usually coming in, the parents are coming in with that idea of, I'm meeting my attorney and I gotta have my whole song and dance done about how it wasn't me that took the mascara. I've got to, it wasn't me, it was my friend. And I'm literally doing we're going to talk about your charge later. What we have to focus on in juvenile court is you. That is hard for kids. I think that's hard for parents. And I think that's hard for even the community to understand is they're not coming into my office to really sit down and say automatically, like, let's just talk about this charge and let's just lawyer to client talk about what the trial will look like, or talk about a plea option, or see if you can go to diversion. It's tell me about you, because I think one of the best emails exchange, and we've had a gazillion with probation, is that idea of starting with the kid at that interview and trying to picture for that child how they will work in the juvenile court system and in probation. Again, I know that seems like a big divide from what most people are thinking we do when we first meet the kid. It's all about that television idea of how do we build the best case to prove that you did not steal that mascara. And I'm just looking like, yes, I'm glad I paid Creighton all that money. I know what the rights are, I know the rules of the road in court, but I'm telling you, I can't emphasize enough, like, that plays a part of it, but that idea of getting in the kid's face and the parent's face and telling them the reality of what's happening when they hit that 6th floor button and sitting down in Judge Daniel's court. What is it going to look like? Nobody is going to spend more than 2 minutes about that damn mascara in Walgreens. The kids sometimes, when we're talking about the charge itself, and as, again, not knowing what everybody's background is, I think it's important that people hear me say, when the kids are charged with misdemeanor, felony, truancy, again, my instinct has been to say to the child and the parent when we come in, I'm going to put the charge in this file and I'm going to put it over here and we're not going to talk about it. You as a defense attorney, there's a lot of talk nowadays about who's driving the bus, who's controlling the talk, who's monitoring what we're doing. And I feel it important at that stage to say, hey, I am the attorney, and I do know about the law, and we will talk about what those police officers did to you, or what you did to that child at school, but that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to make sure that you understand what the rules of the road are. Sometimes the parents want to, again, use that idea of, he needs help. I just want him to plead so he can get the help. Or I just want him to plead so we can get this over with. I just want him to plead, pay a fine and be done with it. Again, not talking about what the charge is, talking about what mom's misperceptions are at this point. I just want him to get help. Okay, Judge Daniels writes, I just want him to get help. There you go. There's still work to be done. It's not a magic pill coming. Sorry, Judge Daniels. It is not. But I think that's the reality, is people think like, well, then if the judge orders it, or if a probation officer says to stay home, you'll stay home. It's like, no, he won't. And again, I'm not doing my kid any favors to be acting like, once a judge orders it, they mean business. Or once a probation officer, the kids are doing that, again, we have to give them that credit. The kids are, in their head, are already spinning with like, so if the curfew's at 10 o'clock, when I say I have a basketball game at 9 o'clock, and then if I had to say that my friends would pick me up at 9:45, and then I didn't have to get home at 10, but I said it was my friend's fault that my mom said that the cousin came over and picked me up and took me to my aunt's house, and then I came back. That's what they're going on, and I'm sitting here thinking, see, I told them 10 o'clock is your curfew, and there will be consequences, just like the judge said, if you don't follow the rules. They're already spinning. They're already trying to figure this out. What they're trying to do is, lady, if you're not going to get me out, I'm going to figure out how to get myself. Again, real. It doesn't do me any favor. It makes my life a lot easier and shorter. Like, hey, I told him, I said, curfew, 10 o'clock, if you don't follow it, the judge is going to do something to you. Or, Mom, you're right, let's plead him and get him some help right now. Yes, right now. And then they, again, referencing Miss Foley's, Brenda, example of a parent coming in and saying, my daughter does not stay home. She does not want to be here. She wants to be with her boyfriend. I'm smiling because Heather and I have this case. And that idea of, on paper, that idea of like, well, then we'll bring her into the juvenile court system and we will order her, do not run. Do not go with that boyfriend and you go to school every day. Clients come in two baskets. The ones that'll be like, yes, ma'am. Walk out the door like, screw you. They're not, oh, okay. Now I'm magically not going to see my boyfriend ever again because you said so, or because the judge said so. Or the ones that truly just look at you right there and then say, I'm not all about that. I'm not about that. I'm not about that. And I keep laughing like, it's not really what you're about. And the reality is, oh yeah, it is. It is what they're about because they're telling you, I am not stopping seeing this boyfriend. And I am not coming home at 10 o'clock at night. The things that go through their heads of why are, again, the reasons as a defense attorney that they did not teach us at Creighton, that they do not talk to you about as far as the rights, the responsibilities, the zealous representation, constitutional law, case law. What they don't tell you is you got to spend 10 minutes with the kid like, okay, tell me about the boyfriend. Who is he? Who is he? Mom, do you know who he is? I mean, that idea that we just, no boyfriend, no drugs, go to school is ridiculous. It just is ridiculous. These kids have stories to tell you, and they are children, and they cannot tell you the story from start to finish. I talked to Michelle Hug from JDI. I've talked to most people about that idea of telling kids that the minute they get juvenile court, they need to have a journal. And anything that they do, say, feel, they write it down. And then when they come to meet probation, or then when they come to meet the county or the defense attorney, that we say, give us that book. Because it's amazing how perception, or what they assume you know, or what they don't want you to know, what they don't think is important, all of it actually plays very tight in this. So when the kid is saying something about boyfriend, 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 and we keep saying, no boyfriend, no boyfriend, no boyfriend, and then it's, but I came home yesterday and Mom said, you can't come in the house today. Where is she gonna go? She's gonna go to the boyfriend's house. So you saying to a kid, no boyfriend anymore, she's not really, again, not talking, not wanting to tell you the story. Isn't good to say like, well, nice lady, my mom here, she doesn't let me come home sometimes because she's got her boyfriend over, so I don't really have any place to go, so I just go over to my boyfriend's house. She thinks that's normal. She thinks that's how it's supposed to be. She may not even think that's really even ratting her mother out. She might just think like, that's the way it goes. That's my life. So why were you telling me I can't go? Where would you have me go? So that's why when people, institutions, floors, say things like, you know, and then we all get together and we say, like for this girl, okay, Mom sounds like she's dropping the ball. You can't go to the boyfriend's because he's 22 and you're 17. So we're going to put you in this lovely shelter. And the kids are like, again, if I could swear, if I didn't think there was recording and people taking pictures, I'd tell you exactly what those kids are thinking when they like, oh, I get to go to a shelter. Hooray! No, they're not. No, they're not. You can be sitting there going like, look at your mom. Oh my God, she's with a boyfriend. The house is a mess. You didn't have dinner last night. She didn't pick you up from school. The, brother and sister arguing in the background. Your boyfriend's 22. We're going to put you in a shelter with 12 other strange children. Don't you want it? No. Let's see, which one? They're both in the house, people. They're both in the house. Yes. In some Lifetime movies, kids say, yes, thank you for saving me and taking me from this awful life I have. Take me to the shelter and I will go to school every day and I too will become an attorney someday. Yes, that happens once. And I'm saying like a great thing for juvenile court attorneys always is, and then we don't, once they leave, once they finally get what they want and they go, unless we read about them in the paper, we don't know what happened. We don't know what happened. This idea like, and then we saved them and we fixed them and we put them back home and everything was fine. You think she's not going back to the 22-year-old boyfriend the minute we close the case? Do you think if she just goes to her chemical dependency class, let's see, if I'm on probation for 6 times and probation gets the service available in 2 months into it, and I go for 4 months, but I miss a couple times, but nobody really said anything, and then court got continued, and then we just entered a report and said, yeah, she went. Do you think that is going to spell out like, and then she will never use marijuana again? Why? All it is a check mark. Yeah, she went. Good. Oh my God. Did she test positive? Not lately. Does anybody ask when the not lately is? Anybody, not lately yesterday, not lately 7 months ago. Again, real. Keep it real with these kids. I had to laugh just yesterday. One of our judges was saying to a repeat customer, coming back exactly on the same charge, marijuana first time, marijuana second time. And she's 17. She's supposed to be going to Benson. Again, she's got some moxie to her. She's got, but again, you can tell the wheels are already spinning. Like, I knew how I got out of this in 4 months last time. I'm going to get out of here in 4 months again. And the judge said to her, honey, you know, you're going to have a life of this. And what's going to end up happening to you is it's going to be on your adult record. I'm here to tell you, it's like a bad movie scene. It's going to be on your permanent record. And these kids are like, who's there looking at my permanent record? I don't. So, you know, that idea that we're trying to scare them with the reality, like, and then when you're 19, you get caught with marijuana, then you're going to have to go to adult court. And they're saying to themselves, and pay a fine and leave that day? I'm taking chances. Thank you. I mean, again, that's real. That idea of we're going to tell them the evils, and they already know, like, you're full of crap. That's adult record. I want the adult record because in adult court, they tell me, you will be doing 30 days in jail and then you'll be done. And they're thinking, 30 days, okay, out the door, $100 fine, here it is, out the door. Juvenile court, when you say to them, when they say, again, question 101, how long is this going to last? How long am I going to be here? Again, those are the top two questions. And you say the words, well, I don't know. It depends on you. My boss, Tom Riley, God bless him, has been doing defense work all his life. And one of the first things he taught me is that, again, just like Dean Skolnick, words are your tools. And Tom Riley taught me that clients hear the word they want to hear. And they make the decision based on that one word that they've heard. And when a client says to you, okay, learned lady with the diplomas on your wall, I'm asking you, how long will I be here? And if your answer starts with the phrase, I don't know, then they go to their friends and say, my attorney is an idiot. She doesn't know. I asked her a very simple question, and she kept saying, I don't know. And I'm thinking, well, I was honest with him. I said, I don't know. But he's thinking, lady, the answer is Friday, March of 2017. And I just keep, well, it's going to depend on you. And again, he's doing that. Like, okay, so go to how many classes? What do we got to do to get out of here? And you're, again, go all the way back to those ideas of juvenile court. What's in your best interest? I wonder if I would say to him, when you're clean, sober, in a loving, perfect relationship with a school degree and a college application pending, that's when you'll leave, because that's what would be best for you. I'm here to tell you the pillaging of the courthouse would undergo, they would riot in the streets if the answer was nobody gets to leave juvenile court until best is arrived. That's my answer, best, bye. They don't want to hear best. They want to hear December. So again, being real with them. Okay, honey, you want a date. So instead of me saying, I don't know, or it depends, let's see what the court ordered you to do. How does the court order a child what to do? She's come here on a mascara shoplifting charge. I really am bringing up the idea of shoplifting and mascara because I revolt when I hear, like, you know, we only really deal with the very serious, you know, we have gangbangers, guns, people, you know, shooting at each other. Oh yeah, we have those. And then we have the shoplifters too. So that idea, like, you know, we're just a system of like, oh, we only take the, no, we take them all, because they all got a story. And so Mascara Girl could literally be the one whose case is open for 2 years. But Mr. Yeah, had a gun on the way to school, he could be done in 6 months. He could make life changes and say, yes, I am not going to smoke pot or hang out with these people anymore. She could say, screw you all, I'm going back to use the minute I'm done. There is no connection. When people say, we're collecting data, the data shows. And all I keep doing is I would love for somebody to come and look at my 150 clients and tell me, what does that data show? Because I'm telling you, the minute one thing shows one thing shows another. The minute you say, always do this, the answer is you probably shouldn't have done that. When people come to ask me an opinion about how to proceed on a case, what do? Who's the judge? Who's your probation officer? Who's the county attorney? What day was it? I mean, that's how specific you have to be with these kids. And I like to try my level best to say to the kids, and that is why I'm your attorney. Law, Constitution, case law, when they say, I don't think they can do that, or that my probation officer, he didn't have the right to do that, or the cop shouldn't have done that to me. Yes, you are absolutely right. Now let's take my hand and let's go back to Creighton Law School, and we will talk about how that shouldn't have happened, or you didn't think it could have happened. Do you want to spend the 45 minutes going down what should or could have, or do you want to talk about what's going to happen now? Now, you're in blue jumpsuit. You're in Douglas County Youth Center. They're telling you, we can send you to a shelter. Do you want to talk about, well, they shouldn't have said that to me. Yes, that's part of it. If you shouldn't be in the juvenile court system because of something, case law, Constitution, absolutely. I like to believe in my heart and head, we don't have officers and we don't have county attorneys literally laying around, what can I make up today so I can get this kid in the juvenile court system? I do approach that with my kids that way. It may not be the most popular view, because sometimes the kids want to hear right away, like, it's us versus them, bad, good. The county attorney is the one that's against me. I find, again, for doing this all these years, that the more times that you are like, let's see how much of a TV lawyer I can be for this kid, the kid might get a kick out of it for a while as he's sitting in the youth center waiting for his day in court. Or I can say to him, where do you want to go with this? You want to go back home. So why aren't we talking to our probation officer? Why aren't we talking to our county attorney and making a plan that makes sense for you, that you will buy into, rather than just do that, wait till I get in court, I'm pummeled that probation officer. Questions, thoughts about that? Again, I say that because I think the more that people, and I came in late for Ms. Foley, but when she said something like, we all get together, we all come up with something, it's a great idea, but the reality is these kids are, I'm not trying to make it sound like end all be all, but the idea is they're relying on me as their defense attorney to know how this system works. Who is your judge? What is that probation officer going to recommend? What is that county attorney going to say? I'm here to tell you that when we're going into court, nobody ever starts with like, well, let's, judge, we all are going to, hold hands now, and we're going to ask for you to do the very best thing for him. And that is it. Because the judge would be like, where? We would like a wonderful group home for this young lady because she runs and she needs her education and needs positive peer support. Great. Where? Someplace like Boys Town. Okay, great. Boys Town doing the what? The 17-year-old who doesn't want to be here, smokes pot, wants to be with the boyfriend, curses out everybody she meets. No, thank you. we will not take her. Do you think that the game is over at that point? Like, oh no, see, you're supposed to say yes. And then she's supposed to go. And then she's supposed to stay. And then she's supposed to, I don't care. That's that is not fair to that girl to be like, no, we're doing what's best for you. It's like, well, yeah, but Boys Town's not going to take her. Again, as her attorney, if I, again, needing her mascara, you just want to plead and get this over with? Yes, let's plead and get this over with. She's sitting in the youth center doing that. I thought they were going to want to help me. They said something about, oh, going to Boys Town. Now Boys Town's not taking me. Now what do you want me to do? And then we go, how about we group, we collaborate, and we make this great plan. And, okay, and we cross our fingers and okay, go home and please don't do anything wrong because Boys Town won't take you. We don't know what to do. Again, real. That is what I have to be saying to the parent and the kid. This one that Ms. Foley was talking about, that upset that mom. I mean, she was beside herself thinking, wait, no. Everybody told me to get this girl in here and we would get her help. And it's like, oh, that'd be delightful. Do you want to go to Boys Town? Do you have to take her? Because they said no. You can't have Judge Daniel say, well, I'm ordering it because it's best. Even if we do get her through the door and the girl's like, I hate this place, goodbye. Out the door she goes to the youth center for the next hearing. Now what are you guys going to do? Now what do you got for me? And this is what we got. That's real. Do not come to these symposiums. Do not come into juvenile court and be thinking like they said best and that a group home like Boys Town would take her and everything would be fun. Again, go back to that thing I said at the very beginning. If it was that way, I wouldn't need to be here. It'd be like, Boys Town's going to take you. They're going to solve all your woes. You're going to get